Let's use this petroleum jelly to lubricate the O-rings on the filters. What is going on YouTube? Paul, the Inventory King. We are going to be servicing the Sunsun canister filter on the Madoka white lip tank. It has been leaking through the motor mount seal, the O-ring, and it needed to be replaced. So this is a 2-for. We're going to replace the O-ring, and I'm going to show you how you can use 100% petroleum jelly to lubricate them. Save some money. You don't have to go buy that big aquarium name brand O-ring silicone lubricant. So let's get right into it. So as I was talking before, we can use 100% pure petroleum jelly to lubricate our O-ring. Now I got an issue with mine and we're going to be replacing it as well. Look what happens when I open the valve. See right in here? Yeah, that's a problem. That's why this is in here. So what I need to do is, first of all, we need to take this apart. And again, this is showing you how to replace the O-ring as well. So it's a 2-for. You can use 100% petroleum jelly. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay, so your O-ring is going to sit right here. And we are going to use this butter knife to pull it out. There we go. Now I know that this O-ring is toast because it's hard. And it's not really round anymore, so I know this is very worn out. So by using the petroleum jelly, when you add new O-rings, it's going to help the life of these O-rings. So now probably be a good idea for us to clean up in here. I'm going to use the rag and we're just going to wipe this clean here just so we're starting fresh. Just so we're starting fresh. Get inside the crevice where the O-ring sits. You know, you want to start off fresh. So get all the old stuff off, get it out, and then we are going to be ready to start the next step. Okay, so we got the old O-ring off and we got this clean. So what we need to do is grab the new O-ring and use it. Put some petroleum jelly on it. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this. I forgot to do that. I like to rinse everything before it goes in the tank. Well, in this case, not in the tank, but on the filter. So again, I just like to rinse everything. So we're going to go ahead now and use the petroleum jelly. 100% pure petroleum jelly. Then we just go and start to add some onto the O-ring. So again, this is going to help the life of the O-ring so that it lasts longer. And because 100% petroleum jelly is fine, we're going to use it to help the life of the O-ring. So we got a good amount on here, nothing crazy, but you can see there's a coat on here. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit into here just so we create a nice tight seal, because I don't want to run into the risk of the filter leaking again. And you know, I'm going for the O-ring because there's a good chance that this is the problem, but you never know sometimes. So I just want to give a good seal. So if it is the O-ring, it's going to really set in there well and not give me problems down the road. You know, again, we're not putting a ton of this stuff in there, just enough to get the areas lubricated here with the petroleum jelly, and then we're going to be ready to start. So that looks about right to me. Next is going to just be to get this bad boy on there. And try your best to not stretch it out, because we don't want these to stretch out. Okay, it is sitting in place. It's got the petroleum jelly to help create a seal. A lot of times people will, you know, aquarium people will sell the silicone lubricant, but you can use the petroleum jelly 100%, and it's going to be just fine. It's something you're going to have laying around the house. So save some money. Don't go buying the brand stuff because you don't need to. Okay. Next is we need to get the motor back onto the canister filter. Water's going to leak out because it's full. Again, good reason to use one of these totes. It just you know, just helps out. Okay, we'll get this all out. Okay, so now the filter is seated. What I want to do is wipe it down. Just in case there's any small drips, that's something that I'll be able to catch once I plug the hoses back in and open up the valve. Sunsun is a nice canister. They do a good job filtering. You know, again, like they say, you get what you pay for. There are some things about it that are cheap, but when you're on a budget, it gets it done. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and get the hose plugged in. Scoot this over. This is the, well, I want to wipe that down a little bit more here, because when I moved it, some more water dripped. It's just because there's water in all these areas. Okay, what is going to happen here? So we're definitely not leaking here. We are definitely not leaking on the back side, not on this side or this side. So we look to be good. So we need to prime this up, get some water flow back into the canister, try to get some of that air purged out. Now we're going to flip it on. I'm going to have to prime it a little bit more just to help force the rest of that air out. And we're good. Filter's running. No water is leaking in any of these places on either side. So the O-ring was bad on the filter. And again, on the petroleum jelly, just make sure you have 100% petroleum jelly. You don't want anything to be added to anything. It's just better. It's what you need, 100%. And when you do your filter maintenance and you're taking the motor off, why not pop the O-ring off, add a little bit more of this to it just to help the life of the O-ring. So this was a twofer video showing you guys how to replace the O-ring on the Sunsun canister filter. A cheap way to lubricate the O-ring. And I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please leave a comment down below. What do you think? Do you use this petroleum jelly? Please like the video, please subscribe, and stay tanked.